Welcome back to this lowered LS, possibly most likely going to be the LS 6-liter swap Chevy here. We got the rear end done, cleaned up, lowered, pretty much ready to go. I might be putting a limited slip in that here in the near future. So I guess let's get to the front end. We got it parts. Intro. So now we're on to the front end. More fun stuff. And you know what, guys? I haven't resorted to drug dealing to pay for these projects. These are all my ball joints, tie rod ends, adjustment bars, whatever you want to call them, with clamps. Also pitman arm, the idler. Basically everything's going to be changed in here except the center. The center rod in the middle, which that shouldn't be wore out unless one of those were loose and they're wobbling around and stuff. So I guess let's get this jacked up in there and we'll start ripping things apart. Well, we basically got like everything. The new kit comes with new spindles, new springs, and then of course, like you saw before, I got all new ball joints, tie rod ends, everything but I guess the center link for the steering vary in the middle. So we got to get everything out of the way. I even got a new tie rod or a new sway bar links, so we don't have to be so careful on all this stuff here. Just need it out of the way here. And then we can clean up. We can clean up. Always fun. You know, a guy could just be chopping a lot of this. It's just, yeah, it's all getting replaced, but I guess I'll just do it the way you do it. Yeah. I have a good feeling we'll be getting new calipers, definitely rotors. Need some cool looking ones. You know, for that big LS, all that screaming horsepower. You'll need them. Well, get out of my way here. We'll get new rubber lines too. That would be all the brake lines. Every stinking one of them. Up. Pop. Well, she didn't kick as much as the guy thought she would. Sometimes scares the living jeepers out of me. Alright, we got that off. The guy wasn't thinking like always. I better get on ordering my rotors, because that's part of your bearing assembly and stuff. And I'm not going to go through putting all that back together to freaking go do that all over again. So we'll do that. In the meantime, we got lots of cleaning. Lots of ball joints, tie rod ends, sway bar links. We got all that. So we'll just, I guess, continue on. I'll get these ball joints out of here. I actually feel, this one's not as tight. That one feels really good. So I'll just continue getting this stuff out of here. And I'll catch you back on the flip side. Easy. So I want to see what these springs differences are here. Not much. I'm sure the button this is a little stiffer. I don't know, we got like 2 inches maybe. But like I said, drop spindles go whoop, I believe. So since we almost died and I got the garage door open and the fans running, it's hard to hear. But I'm just going to take the rest of the Well, almost empty. Well, as you can see, we didn't die. Almost, but we did. So we'll get this cleaned up. I'll take the other tie rod link off here. We'll get everything out of the way. Start cleaning this up. Probably should order some rollers here quick, so we'll get cleaning this up. I'll order some parts. And I'll be back. I'll be back. Well, before I start ordering some parts here, need to verify what size spindle this is originally, and if it matches the spindle up on my new spindles for the drop. We're going to take this part, clean it up, find out everything I got going on here. Then we can wait for some parts to come here. I guess a guy could have read these directions and stuff, you know. Got a little more prepared. That's not how I roll. Yeah! Who needs a wrench? Need a rake. Had a little project in between, and waiting on parts, but we're back. I just wire wheeled, cleaned all this up, undercoated it, and the ball joints in. I guess I can show you on the other side when I get there, that part, but it's fun. Let's try to get the spring in here and the new spindle, because I want to show you the new stuff I got. Pretty cool. And the rear's gonna match. That's still coming. Nothing more to say about that. Let's get to town. Hopefully these rear springs slide right up in there. But we all know they won't. Let's see if we can fit all of us in here. Nope. No. Like butter. Maybe. You little devil, you. That wasn't so bad. Boy, does anybody else pinch the mother living effer out of your fingers with those? I do. Every other time. I'll jam this in there. Safety first. Need your rubber. Get over here. Tight until it's loose, right? My finger hurts. Now, I'm gonna tighten that shot from up yonder. Got all my crap I gotta move up. Think we got her? Well, let's hope our new rotors work. My finger still hurts. Just a tip. Well, shoot. Everything's correct, but I got wrong bearings. I got the right outers, but the inners fit good in here. It's just sloppy as a pig on the shaft. My original ones, I just tried to test those. They're good on the shaft. Sloppy in the rotor here. So I'm gonna have to find in-betweener, order them. So you get to wait some more. But I guess I can show you what this is gonna look like. These still got all the garbage on them from shipping, the grease oil junk. That's gonna look pretty sweet with those big old rims. But I gotta find some bearings. Yay, yay, yay. I've been having one heck of a time with this situation. So my other problem is this. It's quite extreme for that bearing cap. My rims don't fit on it. So I either gotta grind a little bit of this away or shim my wheel out an 1/8 inch more. We will see what we gotta decide there. So I guess let me find some bearings and we'll be back. Always something. Oh. Well, after monkeying around, doing my research, I got the right rotors. Whew. Yeah, what a pain. I guess make sure, especially when you got spindle swaps and stuff, you gotta find out what spindles you're running, what calipers you're gonna be running to accept 1-inch rotors, 1.25 rotors, and then your spindle shaft or spud or whatever they call it. Who knows? You got 1 inch there, you got 1.25 inches, you got 1 3/8 inches. But we got this all figured out, and I got ones I really liked. They cost a little more than I wanted, but I'll go show you those here quick, and then let's get to it. What I came up with. Try not to completely destroy the bank. But these are E-coated, they're black. This will come off where the pad hits. but it'll stay where it don't, so you don't get these rusty, ugly things showing through your big wheels like this. Nobody wants to see that. They're pretty nice now. Got the right bearings, seals, calipers, pads, everything's ready to go here for me. Except with these, I gotta clean these races up. I do have new races, but this stuff comes, I think, off. If not, I'm gonna pull them off and put the new ones in. I mean, these are brand new. They just got this dumb coating on them. Like, it'd be kind of cool if they just sealed it off, but you don't have to worry about this part. They say run it. Just watch it at first. It comes right off eventually. So we'll get to that. I'll clean these off, put my long studs in, pack the bearings, fill her up, slide her on. I got new hardware for everything. I'm not messing around with anything on this anymore. Or on this truck. I'm pretty much just getting all new, everything I touch for the most part. Tubular A-arms would have been cool, but I don't think I'd ever make a dime off this truck then. But anyways, let's get to it. Throw this wheel together. Get this thing done. At least the wheel part. I have the brake converting, or the disc brake conversion coming in the mail. They said it could take 3 weeks. Golly. So we'll still be waiting on that. And it's to match what I have here. Same setup. It's going to be black e-coating. So let's bust this down and get this together. I'm cheating. Like a glove. Well, something happened there. I don't know. But I had to double check. So this caliper, see these inner lugs here and there? And there's also, see the two little dot pins? Those also sit in the caliper. But these calipers, this one and that one wouldn't slide in there and it wouldn't sit flat. So, these new parts, you never know what you're getting. But these calipers are not from the kit I got for the brakes. These are from Little Shop MFG. We'll see with the rear kit, conversion kit, we'll see how those calipers are. Hopefully they're right. I don't have to grind and cut. So, but otherwise, where I'm buying my stuff now, there's a little more money. I think it's much, much better stuff. then I had this. I don't even know where I got those from. I had them around for some other thing, and I'm using them now. So I'm not gonna hook up brake lines just yet. Those getting new. Like I said, I'm pretty much just getting new for everything. And put Loctite on those. Let's clean this up a little. Got grinding dust everywhere. One bad thing about nice stuff like this, you always keep it clean. Jeepers. I get a little booger on there. I bet. Oh, look at that. Look at it. Pretty cool, spiffy stuff. The wheels on the bus go round and round. About time. These brakes were a pain in my hinder. Why don't they tell you? You go look for rotors and go, oh, they fit your truck. Well, maybe they don't. Why don't they tell you what rotor or what bearing size you take, like an A6, A5, whatever? Then you know. But they don't tell you that. You got to call the manufacturer up and, well, what do we got? Okay. So, whatever. It's, normally not the biggest deal in the book, but like I said, I got this, I got that. Probably a lot of my big problem was, it's been years since I bought this kit. I didn't know what kit I bought. And of course, the numbers, I don't have it, I don't know, and the part number on this it didn't seem to go good, but whatever, we figured it out. We are in business. A lot of money for stopping. Who cares about stopping, but it's got to look good. So I guess, I don't know. We'll get in on the steering components so we can drop this down. I want to shimmy Jimmy the truck over this way. I got it pinned over that way so I got room for videos. Making the videos and stuff, so we'll get this side done. Drop her down over here and tackle the other side. Plus I got a new kit, a ball joint kit. So we'll show you that process on that side. Well, it's been a little bit, but we're back. We got parts. Come check this out. The rears came in. Pretty sweet. Brackets. Reservoir. We got braided brake lines. And the rear calipers that I got paint red. So we got that getting ready. But we got pole axle shafts. And I got to get a limited slip rear end. I don't think I want just like a mini spool where it's constantly locked up. Gets a little irritating. Every turn. So we'll get on that. And let's get on business here. This shouldn't take long. We got snowstorm coming. They're saying anywhere from 1 to 20 inches. So let me press this ball joint in. We'll get this all buttoned up. Oh, I got new power steering box right here. Looked at the old one, so dang dirty. I ain't messing with it, just got a new one. So, we'll get this wrapped up. We gotta get this truck turned around here so we can start working on the rear. And then Monday, if the snow allows it, my whole fuel injection ACES kit is coming. It's the in-tank fuel pump, intake, throttle body, injectors, wiring harness, computer doobed up. That's all coming. So my plan was actually just to drive this around with this old 350 for a little bit. But it so happens I'm jumping the gun. We'll get this buttoned up. Scary story time. Ooh. Well, I had it. There we go. Ooh. So hopefully this goes. I got a new kit. A little more beefy. We're on our last tie rod. Let's get this on. I'm not gonna have brakes, but we need to flip this beast around so I can get working on the rear brake disc conversion. Blah blah blah. So with this together, we're gonna beat the big snowstorm. This obviously is gonna need alignment. I got it as close as I could, matched up with the originals. It'll do what it needs to do. But yeah. Get out of here, get out of here. Yep. Got all the newbie stuff. You know, when we pull the motor, we're gonna clean this area up. And like I said, this is gonna get trashed. I'll have to repaint it and stuff. I got new power steering box in, all new links, all new tie rods, ball joints, everything. So, time to get the wheels on and set her down. We'll get to see it, not with the front Lauren kidding. Yippee-ki-yay. And one of my studs were a little woo-wee when I drove them home by hand. It must have been just, and they're long, so just a tiny little bit. I couldn't get my socket in there. Let me get this other side on. Let's slam this sucker. See where she sits? I don't know. Hopefully just right. Well, here she is, boys and girls. Pretty cool. Well, like I said earlier, let's back this in there. I've got some cleaning up to do, but let's back this in there so I can start tearing into the rear. I might as well look for a limited slip or something while I got the axle shafts pulled for the rear disc brake conversion. But we'll get going on that. And yeah, can't wait. Kind of cool just the way it is, but I already bought the paint. Ooh, expensive. I bought nice stuff, supposedly nice stuff. We'll see. I'll mess it up somehow or another, but let's get this in there and we'll get on the next episode. I got my fuel injection stuff in a 6-liter coming. We'll get that ready. We'll start pulling this motor and get that ready. Let's do a 6-liter conversion. See how mad I can mess that up. It's gonna happen. Thanks for watching. That episode's gonna be real quick, I believe. So let's go. Thanks for watching again. Bye.